The Formal Gamer, podcast for those with exquisite taste.
Welcome to Season 6 of The Formal Gamer. The University of Eolus has produced some peculiar pupils, but none more peculiar than Goros, Farvan, and Sotru. They face an assignment unlike any other: to uncover the secrets of class and discover the origins of the dragon cults. Will they pass or fail? Will they live or die?
Hi guys, it's a bit of an odd episode this week because it's the only ever one that I'm not on, and Jules is not on, and Robin is not on. You'll have to listen to find out. It's a little bit different. We hope you like it. Also, in 3 weeks, we're going to Dragon Meet. So if anyone's going there, it would be lovely to see you. And we're recording some stuff there. But more important than any of that is that you enjoy the episode.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Formal Gamer podcast. There are fewer people in the room than usual. I'm here with Raven, Alamira.
Hi, I'm Mira and I'm Raven today.
Yes.
But I'm all by myself.
It's been quite a while since we've touched base with Raven. Last we spoke to her, she had got incredibly worried about the villagers and Protopol and the animals that have been left out in the real world, as it were, outside in the mountainside with Una, who was last seen at the campfire. She'd gone back through to investigate, and she had then started backing away from Una, who was literally about to force her way past her into the antechamber. Una succeeded and closed the door. Una then opened the next door into a stage-like arena where it appeared there was some sort of judgment or jury sort of service going on. Una stepped through and said, "Oh, I've done this one before, my darling." Walked up and stabbed the
poor, we don't even know if he was guilty, the poor person in the middle of the room,
who was bound and gagged and had a bag on his head. She stabbed him in the neck, cut him from ear to ear.
It was like that video, Childish Gambino video.
It was not very nice. Raven has been in there when this has happened.
Yes.
The door has been closed, and Una has then moved to the exit door, as we found in these rooms. So you have an entry door and an exit door, and opened that door and gone through to where you assume to be the antechamber again.
And somehow Raven can't seem to get away from her because they're now in this airlock system. But I think Raven really doesn't want to be anywhere near her because she's a horrible lady.
So it would obviously what she's done would appear to be just murder.
Right. I mean,
you weren't able to stay to find out. Raven got a bit panicked. She jumped into the auditorium. The people exited stage left, stage right, ran away. You then tried to get back through the door that you had come through, but it was locked. It seems that the room had almost, once the task or the challenge had been completed, either successfully, non-successfully, or no judgment at all, had unlocked the door to go forwards. So it would appear to Raven that the only way forward now would be to move to the door where Una went and into the antechamber where she last saw her.
And I don't have any of the villagers. I don't have any animals with me. It's just me and the scary witch lady who is very powerful.
No, exactly. So you actually... The animals, Ramto, his bow, or new bow, Petunia... I think it was Petunia. And I can't remember whether Protopol was there as well. I'm not sure. They were left in the antechamber when you went into this room.
Right.
So...
So truth be told, I'm not expecting them to rush in and act the cavalry.
What, the Ramto?
Yeah.
I think he'd certainly like to, especially with the cape and everything that you made him last time. So, Raven, you find yourself alone in this stage. There's a body bleeding out on the floor, dead, but bleeding out on, blood still coming out, pooling underneath it, and the stage in front of you. And you appear to be alone in this room.
Okay, so everybody else ran from the auditorium. Did I see how did they get out?
They went through doors. I believe last time you tried them and they appeared to be locked. It was almost like the mirage or whatever is going on in this place did not extend to you leaving this room.
Okay, but the body still is there. That hasn't reset. It's just bleeding.
No.
So I would like to look and see. I know this is really cringe and it's making me feel grossed out, but I think Raven's gonna go over, and I don't know how you do that. I've never taken a bag off a shop stabbed
You want to have a look at it?
I want to see who it is.
Yeah, you take the bag off, and it appears to be a human male. Appears to be real. You sort of tentatively prod it, etc. It doesn't appear to be what do you call it? An illusion.
Oh God, it's a real, actual human. And do I recognise the face?
No, you don't. You do look at the clothing though, and roll me a perception.
Okay.
Or insight, rather.
First roll of the day. Okay. Thank you. Oh, that looks like an 18 to me. Is that an 18 or a 16?
It's a 16.
Okay, so that's 20 with my plus.
So, you would recognise the clothes he's wearing as being... So you would... to get to this, you would have gone through the regions of Class, the towns of Lasvik and such in the area to get here. And you recognise his clothing as being very, very similar.
So it looks like a localer of the area. A localer.
Yes.
Okay.
A local person.
Is there...
Dated clothing. It's dated.
Okay.
But it's of similar type. Stuff in this world hasn't really developed too much.
Well, we kind of know that there's some weird timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff going on between the doors. So this could be a guy who's been from a completely different period of time to us. Does he have any papers or anything in his possession that might give any clues as to who or what he was doing?
No, you tentatively have a look through his pockets, some of which are now
very
bloody and...
Tom, this is the worst.
It's sort of seeped around him. His clothes are sticky. It's a very dark, oxygenated blood.
I'm so glad you're describing this.
And you tentatively have a look in, and unfortunately, it's all for naught. You don't find anything of particular interest in his pockets.
All right, so that's kind of ooky pooky, and... As you know, Raven comes from a crime factory, so the poor girl is having all these kind of flashbacks of her dad having a chat with associates.
Yes.
And I think Raven's going to decide there's nothing more in this room and head over to the other door. Please tell me it opens.
It does open.
Yes. What do I see?
You're talking about the one where Una went?
The one where Una went.
Yes. You open it and you see the antechamber.
Oh. So back out with the... Oh, you mean the little lock between the two rooms?
Yes.
Okay, go into the antechamber.
Yes, you go into the antechamber and close the door.
I'm going to close the door.
Okay.
She's not in there. Una's not in there.
She's not in the antechamber, no.
Okay. And it's exactly the same as it always looks, the antechamber.
It is, yes.
Okay. All right, then. I have no other choice but to try the other door.
Okay. You open the door and... you step into what appears to be a cliffside sort of open area.
Okay.
So it's like if you were on a path up a cliff.
Yes.
There is you take maybe, if you're driving, you see sometimes laybys where cars park and stuff like that.
Okay, so like a beautiful scenic kind of cliff viewing point.
Yes.
We could say.
Yes, exactly that. And... You walk out and there is a ravine in front of you.
Okay.
And on the other side, quite a way away, we're talking like 60 to 80 foot meters.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, since you've last been here, I'm now making foot meters a thing because I always flip from feet and meters. So all measurements are in foot meters. Yes.
Okay.
And directly over the other side, you see Una.
the other side of the ravine.
She's the other side of the ravine by the door, and
I'm gonna-
time-wise, you're not sure what's happened, but it looks like she's for whatever reason she's walking towards the door on the other side.
I'm going to use my stealthy skills to just drop to the ground, try and have the door close as silently as possible, and just lie there and observe her. And I'm a rogue.
So roll me to stealth to shut the door. So the door is still open at the moment, but you want to shut it, yes?
Yeah.
So you see Una going.
She's not looking back.
She's not looking. No,
okay.
she's not looking back. But she is moving towards the exit door. And your experience in this area would know that if she tries the exit door now,
Yeah.
she would not be able to open it because the door next to you is still open.
Okay.
So this is time sensitive,
Yeah.
and
But I'm thinking Yeah, okay. You're a terrible man. Okay. So I'm going to do a stealth check to close the door as quickly as I can and
as quietly. Roll it, and you're hiding it from me. So be honest.
I've got an 8 with a +7, so it's 15.
+7.
Yes, because I'm a sneaky rogue.
You are a sneaky rogue. And the door closes with a very quiet click.
Yay! Okay, I don't say yay out loud. I'm just really quiet, and I drop to the floor and try and just lie as still as possible.
Okay, roll me another. In fact, with the rocky outcrop, no, I'm going to give you within that roll. You managed to stealth your way there.
Thank you. Appreciate your generosity, DM.
You see Una go to the door.
Yeah.
You see her open it, and you see her give one last look back and a scan of the area.
Okay.
And she moves through the door. You assume towards the antechamber.
Okay.
You are now left on one side of this ravine
Yes.
with the door on the other.
Now, this is really interesting because I don't think I've ever been in a room that has been completed and I've been left in there. Oh, I mean, apart from the last one just now. So,
No, you've been in rooms before. So with the other guys, when you're with them, you've been in rooms where the room has been, inverted commas, completed.
yeah.
And the door has been open and closed to the antechamber.
Okay, I guess I just thought when the room was completed successfully, if you were left in there, there would be a reset. But there wasn't with the guy because he was killed. So I thought that was because she did it the wrong way.
So you've never seen a room reset. 'Cause you've never been in the same room twice.
Okay, well, I am gonna.
Except, I think this was before Raven joined the crew. So actually, no, I don't think you know, because I can't remember whether Raven had seen the execution room before. But you would have heard the guys talking about it, possibly. Oh, no, because they wouldn't have seen it. No, so you've never seen a room reset.
Okay. So what I'd like to do is actually see if I can go back 2 rooms to the
So you go
pigs.
to
I'm
try the
gonna
door.
go to the door.
And it doesn't open.
Oh.
You know that
Oh, no,
from the
I
previous, you have to only go forward.
Okay. So can I see, has she left any ropes or any technique for getting down and across the ravine?
No, there doesn't seem to be.
Okay. So I'm going to go and...
Well, in fact, actually, no, that's unfair. Roll me a perception.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, that's nice, decent roll. That is a 17 with a +4, so 21.
21, okay. You move to the edge. You can't see any ropes or anything like that, but what you can see near the edge of this ravine is that slightly off-centre from where the door opposite you is, you can see some... Very, very close to the edge of the ravine, you can see some dust. Almost hanging in space, as it were.
Oh, I'm going to get some more dust.
Okay.
And throw it out over there.
You throw it out over there, and it over a rather sort of thin area. It appears to sort of settle, and then in some instances fall off.
Oh,
so you can see
okay.
that the wind, obviously this being a ravine, the wind isn't quite as strong as it's near the cliff.
Okay.
Near this bit, because there's a few rocky outcrops. So if you imagine like a non-straight riverbank. Yeah, there's a few gullies and stuff like that. There's a few little tiny little rocky outcrops and stuff. So it's collected there.
Mm-hmm. Can I go back down onto the ground again, commando style crawl, and see if there could be some kind of rickety invisible construction that the dust is settling on, like an invisible bridge?
Well, you can't roll it, but I mean, by virtue of it being invisible, you wouldn't be able to see it.
No, okay. Very true, Tom. Very true. Okay, so that's a 9.
Yeah, you're not sure. The dust just seems like it's holding.
Okay. Well, I'm going to inch out, but I'm not walking. I'm like lying down.
You're crawling, like moving your hands in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. You move out. So you're lying on your belly on the actual ground on the ravine side.
Yes.
You crawl out, and it gets to the point where half of your body is literally hanging on nothing, and you are crawling on your belly on nothing. You go out further until there are only the tippiest of your tiptoes left on land, and you are almost floating over this ravine, which is looking at it, many 100 meters down to the bottom of the ravine.
Okay.
And as you crawl forward, you feel your fingers go over a lip.
Oh, Lord. Okay. In that case, I'm going to shuffle back, get some more dust,
Yep.
go back out to where I was before. And
So you've got a few bags and stuff. So I will say that if you wanted to, you could collect a small bag worth of like just grit and gravel and whatnot.
see, Raven is, as we know, like a
So you're taking like the top dust, are you?
yeah. She's like a sneaky thief, so she's used to heights and stuff like this. So she's gonna, as she edges out, she's gonna throw dust ahead of her to see if there's like further.
Okay. So she edges out. What, still on your hands and knees, or literally belly down?
I think we can go hands and knees now.
Okay, hands and knees. You make your way out. So there's no part of you touching the ravine where you were, and you make your way out, and you've gone about 10 meters.
This could be a really short episode.
Yeah, it could be. You make your way out, and you find yourself 10 meters, and you throw the dust, and directly in front of you, where you'd sort of scribbled down on your belly,
Yeah.
it doesn't. The dust appears to just fall to the nothingness below you. Well, not nothingness, as the ravine.
And how
but I mean-
about if I throw the dust in like a confetti throwing manner?
Okay, you throw it in a confetti manner, and you see that further out, what for you would be perhaps a normal jumping distance, feasible jumping distance. Mm-hmm. Some of it settles there and then is blown away by the wind.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So this is basically like a very dangerous platform style adventure.
Pretty much.
I'm just going to have to try and think of the best way to get across. The other thing is, if this is a magical platform that Una's erected, I don't know how long it's going to last. So I'm going to try and move quickly. So my Raven's strategy is going to be to edge out as far as she can, and then do a big sprinkling of dust ahead of her to see where the next hope.
So let's just, Raven's not stupid. At this point, you're thinking, in this bag that I've filled up, I've only got so many sprinklings of dust.
Yes.
Roll me an insight, please.
Okay. I mean, yeah, she's not stupid. Okay, she's got a 9 and +3.
Okay.
12.
You're thinking that perhaps the heavier stuff might be less resistant to being blown away by the wind.
Okay. You
and
gave me a clue when you said top dust.
I did, yes.
See how nice he is, listeners.
Yeah,
he can
I
be
know.
nice.
Look at me. Well, we could draw this out and make it long and painful, but
Yeah. Okay. There's that too.
So Raven goes back and she fills her pockets up with grit and gravel. She fills this bag up. You don't have as many supplies, but you got enough for you. You could willing to sacrifice a few. You just managed all of your pockets, everything you fill with grit and gravel, and you make your way back out to that 10 meter point, and you start throwing. And you notice that there does appear to be some sort of gap in front of you.
Okay. So I'm gonna leap across, and hopefully.
So you're throwing it out, and you know there is at least a 5 meter sort of area in front of you.
Okay. Okay, that's good to know. So she's going to leap across. Do I need to do a check for that? You said it was like a normal kind of size jump. But...
It is. I'm going to make you roll I think endurance. I'm going to see how your mental stability. I think endurance is probably the...
Do you mean constitution?
That's it, constitution. Same thing.
Okay, alrighty. So 14.
14. You have the mental fortitude to jump across, and how are you intending to land? Just on your feet, or
I'm going to land like a cat.
Okay.
Because she is a cat burglar.
Roll me your
acrobatics,
please.
Okay. 15.
15.
Yeah.
You land on the grit and gravel that you've thrown out there. You don't slip. You manage to make your landing.
Phew.
And you find yourself in the region of about 15 meters
across.
You are standing on nothingness. This is proper queasy. If you've got no head for heights, this is proper queasy territory.
I have second story work as one of my.
So as a thief, you're probably quite.
Yeah.
I mean, this is we're looking at like 15 stories, but it's the same principle, I suppose. So you make your way forward. I assume you want to repeat the pattern and going forward.
Yes, I'd like to. What percentage of the ravine have I crossed?
You reckon you're about a quarter, maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to do that then.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you go through that. Roll. You get to another where you see another lip, and you throw the
gravel.
The gravel out, and you work your way. Roll me. Roll me again another insight, please.
Okay, an insight that's going to be 11.
Okay. You notice that perhaps if you didn't go a straight direction, there are bits that might be nearer, and you work through this, and you throw it out, and you work a way to moving forward that will give you the shortest amount to jump. Raven is a thief of some, of some training.
She has some pretty cool abilities. Like she has a second story work ability, and that kind of means she can climb faster than normal. And when I make a running jump, you get extra modifiers, bonuses.
Well, they are particularly useful here.
Right.
So I need you to roll me a acrobatics again, just to get to the middle safely.
Okay, acrobatics 14.
14, yes.
Thank God I've got +7. So I'm rolling bad today.
Was that just a 7 you rolled?
Yep.
Okay. You're 14, you make your way, and you are pretty much at the middle now. You kind of have to go sideways at this point. Like, that's the shortest distance, or you can take a riskier one, which is a much further
No, I think if she's doing the confetti throwing out and she's kind of sensing patterns and stuff, she's going to trust her instincts and do that rather than be ridiculously risky.
Yep.
Yeah?
Okay, so you go the sort of sideways bit. Another acrobatics, please.
Oh, that's a critical fail, Tom.
Was that a 1?
It's a 1.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
But it is a +7, so it's
8. No, that doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
I mean, I didn't even rope myself off.
No, you didn't. It's not really my place to suggest things like that, but
I mean, what would I rope myself to?
Well, yeah, there are other things that could
I didn't
have
even
here.
look, did I?
I think maybe at this point you should roll a percentage dice, listeners.
Are you sure you want me to roll a percentage dice?
I'm 100%.
It's just you and me in the room, Tom. No one will know.
No.
Okay.
So roll the single digits first, please. That's how we do it.
Sadly, our DM is extremely lawful goods. It's a nightmare trying to cheat.
Lawful neutral.
8.
Something 8. Okay, now the 10s.
This is How much do you love me, my friend?
Well, let's just see what you roll.
But we're good friends, right?
We are, yes.
Okay. I rolled a 20.
A 20.
28.
A 28. Okay. You jump to where you think. Well, you threw the gravel out, and you felt, I'm doing the shorter distance here.
I'm an idiot.
What?
I'm an idiot. I've got the lucky feet.
Well, too late now.
No.
Too late now. You
God
jump.
Damn it.
You jump, and something goes wrong. So basically, as you jump, the wind just as you were about to, when you take like a little tiny run up and you get to a bit, the wind just whips the gravel that you had thrown off, and you get disorientated. Something goes wrong, and you find yourself. You find that you don't land where you thought you were, and you find that you're dropping down. Now roll me.
Oh my goodness!
Sell me a skill to how you're going to recover this, to grab onto the edge of whatever it is you're jumping onto.
I'm going to try and use my acrobatic skills.
Yeah.
To, I don't know, like
so you
twist in the air.
sort of your feet land, but you're on the edge.
I've lost my footing.
So you've lost your footing, and you're almost feeling like, Well, I don't know. You tell it to me. How would you be
gonna
falling
try and-
backwards or forwards? I think you'd be you're sort of slipped and you're kind of falling backwards.
I'm going to try and kick my feet backwards in a gymnastic style to push my body to gain more momentum
what
to
you don't wanna
grab onto what
No,
I'm...
so you're falling backwards. So
I hate you so much.
So I mean, you can push backwards. You could try and do a backflip back onto the
That's
place
what-
you were.
Okay, I'm going to try and do a backflip.
Yeah.
Using my acrobatics. Using my...
Roll me that, please.
Okay, I will roll that. And I got a 2. However,
A 2.
I have a lucky feat.
Right. Wait. We can roll that. So.
Okay, listeners, can
you-
I just say,
so-
Tom has this beatific... He's got a massive smile on his face. He's...
So you jump forwards. You.
Wait,
You
I'm
don't-
not accepting the 2. if I
No,
can
just wait.
re-roll.
I know you're not, but I'm working into it because I don't like it when you just change dice. So I'm working it into the story.
But lucky, that's the whole
I know,
point.
I know. Don't worry, you're going to get your chance. Just wait. Just wait for the description. So you run forward, you jump, you sort of slip. You feel like one of your feet just skids off, and you find yourself falling backwards. You go to do a backflip, and you are successful in that backflip, but you find that as you've done this sort of twisting somersault backflip, it looks really impressive. And if you were doing a floor maneuver like
I would get
in
10s.
gymnastics, this would be good.
Lovely.
However, as is always the case with gymnastics, it's the landing that counts, and that's anyone can do a flip, but it's landing. Those feet do not land directly next to each other, and as you backflip backwards, the 5 to 10 foot meters that you were trying to do, you again find that your feet have sort of failed to find footing.
Okay.
And roll me again an acrobatics for your lucky to see if you're able to manage to backflip back to where you were the first time where you lost your footing. What was it?
What is the save on this?
What, I'm not telling you. What did you roll?
I rolled a 3, so I have a 10.
formal game of 3.
A
So you have a
10.
10. Oh my god.
10?
So you
Come
go
on!
you go for another backflip and you feel yourself
I'm dead.
you feel yourself falling. You manage to as you do this backflip, you flip and your hand, you feel it grab on to the edge of whatever it is. It feels so. You described earlier. Oh, am I just walking out on a platform, or is it some sort of weird hidden structure?
Yeah.
You feel almost like ridges of stone on the top of something, and your hand in this instant is grabbing on, and now roll me one last check, and this really is the last time that Raven is going to have.
Well, it is the last check, but bear in mind I have a lucky feat, which can be used 3 times before a long rest.
Well, we'll see about roll it anyway.
I mean, it's in the rule book.
Roll it.
It's 15.
It's a 15, and her fingernails are gripped on, and I mean, to anyone watching, this must have looked like the most bizarre thing ever, as Raven is hanging on by her fingernails
Okay.
onto there.
I'm going to quickly put my other hand up there too.
And
No.
as you do that,
Okay.
you look to your left, bearing in mind you were in the middle of this ravine with the wind blowing through. Some of this dust that you
I
threw
mean,
out
you
is...
said it wasn't windy. You said there was wind every now and then.
No, wind in the middle. Some of this dust is going to your eyes, and you're trying to get it out whilst...
No, I'm not. I'm focusing. I'm just
focusing on that. But you look to your left, and you see Una standing there with arms crossed,
That's not fair. How did she
looking
get
at
back
you,
in the room?
looking at you, saying... And you hear her cry out to you, or shout out to you and saying... Really, my dear, I'm waiting to move to the next room. I can't move without you. Will you please hurry up? This is rather unfortunate that we've been put in this situation. Now, would you like me to help you? Or are you okay to deal with things yourself?
Well, now Raven looks at you and goes, I'm as likely to drop if I have to stay with you. And I'm going to look down and contemplate.
What, you're considering letting go?
Maybe, because there might be invisible things beneath me that help me, and then
And Una
I'm
looks
considering it.
Una looks at you and she says, my dear, I have been in this room before. I have been in this room many times before. Let me tell you this, and I'll tell you this woman to woman, For free.
That's quite patronising, but carry on.
Let go and you will be fine.
I'm going to do an insight. 18.
18. You think she's telling the truth?
I let go.
You let go?
Yeah.
Wow, that's some trust, that is.
Well, I think in my mind, if there's a way out of this without her help, that would be a good thing. And also, I've just seen her stab someone. She clearly is a bad person, and if she's going to use me to succeed, it's going to be probably...
I don't think she's clearly capable of doing bad things. Whether or not she is a bad person, we don't know. But you've clearly seen her commit what is ostensibly murder. And Raven
Right.
lets go, and you feel yourself falling.
Oh, no!
And... Raven, you fall 20 foot meters down, and you take 9 damage from the fall, and you find yourself lying on what appears to be a rocky floor. You sort of took the fall because you were hanging on by your fingertips. You take the fall on your feet, and you are now lying on your back, staring straight up at Una, who is looking down at you, smiling.
Is she,
Who says-
she's not at the bottom of the ravine, though, as well, is she?
No, she's on the other side.
Okay.
She said, and she looks at you and she says, "I told you. Trust in me, my dear. Trust in me."
I mean, she is saying that, but that doesn't mean, like...
It's good. She says to you, she says, "It's good that we've broached this first level of trust between us. Now, come with me. We need to move on. Perhaps you could be of some help to me. Maybe a different insight on some of these challenges might be what I'm looking for."
I'm going to pretend I'm unconscious and I don't hear her. I'm going to make her come down and get me.
You're going to make her come down and get you?
I pretend I'm passed out.
Okay, but are your eyes closed and stuff?
Yeah.
In that case, you hear Una drop down, and you see her walking over what basically nothingness. Well, you don't see her because you've got your eyes closed. You hear her walking over towards you.
Okay.
And I'm guessing you're going to let her touch you? I don't know what the deal is.
I'm going to let her touch me.
Yep, you feel her grab onto your hand and start dragging you towards the edge, the other side of what looked like it was a ravine.
Okay. Well, I'll just let her drag me.
Yeah?
It's not hurting me, is
Well, you
it?
just no. You're just
I'm just having a
playing.
little rest.
Well, yeah,
I'm playing possum.
playing possum. Okay, you see her drag you to the edge of there, and you stop. And at this point, she says, "Now I can try and pull you up here, my dear. Raven, was it? I can try and pull you up here. Looking at it now that I'm here, actually, this is going to take quite an effort. The other option is that for me to continue, I do so on my own, which means that you won't be with me. So you can still pretend that you're asleep, or you can climb up this hill, and I won't kill you. Up to you, my dear."
What? Well, what? That doesn't make sense. Why didn't she just kill me?
She's giving you a choice. Perhaps she isn't quite as bad as you thought.
I go, oh, what's happening? Oh, I must have passed out. No, I don't. I go, oh, what's happened? I must have passed out.
You see her look quizzically. It looks like actually she might think that perhaps she was wrong. Maybe you were unconscious.
I throw up
Oh God! Right. Okay.
to make it look convincing, and then I start climbing up.
Okay. She goes, "That's good. You're not like the people here. These are worthless people in this
I'm not
place."
listening as
They're-
she's
well,
monologuing.
she's just talking.
Yeah.
As she's climbing up, she's saying, "You have to understand. These people are just here to be a sort of game for us. I've been here before. That last room, I've been there before. I've killed him before. I've been in that room before. The same person. A different person. But always someone in that room." And she climbs to the top. And she says, "You, however, have come from the outside. Your life, to me, in any case, means slightly more than these people here. Now, work with me and we shall continue on,
I kind of going to take a moment to readjust all my clothing, dust myself off. Obviously, check all my belongings were intact after I fell down a blooming cliff. And then I'm going to say to her, you're going to need to level with me because I've heard a little bit about you.
She says, well, I'm clearly a higher level than you. I mean,
I say, now, my friends Garis and Farvin, they told me about you, Una, but they're not sure about you either. And you have not explained really why you needed any of us, to do anything. And why should I trust you? I've seen you murder in cold blood. How do you know that these are not enchantments that we are supposed to free rather than slay?
she sort of turns her head quizzically to you. So she's just dressed in these long flowing robes. She has this big, thick scarf around her neck. Her voice has got these real dulcet tones where she's, you know, you've heard her, or you've heard tales from the others, Goris and stuff, about her magical voice, how she put people under, almost a spell, as it were. She says, I've been coming to these mountains for many years. I've been trying to get to the heart of this tomb for many years. Clearly, I'm doing something wrong. These tombs cannot be never-ending. I've spoken to the person who says that he's a watcher, that I'm not worthy, that I will never be allowed to reach the heart of the tomb. I clearly need a different take on things. I thought that perhaps your friends might be able to achieve that end for me. But I waited outside for them for too long. I'm in a, let's say, a hurry. There are time constraints here for me. And perhaps together we can go forward and achieve our similar ends.
I mean...
And there are the lives of those villagers that I have appropriated control over.
Oh, this is really persuading me that you're a good person. Threatening the lives of innocent villagers. Okay. Una, let us strike forth and go forward. I do not believe that our destinies are tied, however.
What are you... If the lives of the villagers mean something to you, then our paths are tied, because you will help me to help them.
You sound like one of the dodgy salesmen that my father regularly has killed. And I'm very nervous of you with your powers and I don't really know why you would need me to help you when you have Goris and Farvin Harvin, and they're already doing this, but it seems I have no choice but to travel alongside.
So, she sort of looks at you. She doesn't offer a reply to that. She smiles and she says, "I'm sure that we can get along just as far as we need to."
Oh.
And she moves over, opens the door to the antechamber, and offers it open for you.
I close the door.
What?
After her.
What do you mean? What, you step in and close it?
No, let her go in,
yeah.
and then I close the door.
Okay.
And
right.
Then...
So, sorry, no, I have to work out the time difference. So... It immediately opens. Like, you shut it, it immediately opens. She's, really? Come on.
I go through. I've made my point. Raven is...
She sucks her teeth at you.
Raven's walking like a teenager.
What, stomping
She's
around?
Like, you don't even go to here. Like, I didn't even know who you are. Ugh.
So... The door.
I come in the antechamber.
Una closes the door behind her, into there, and she says, "Right, on to the next one. Why don't you do the honors, my dear? Why don't you do the honors?"
So Raven studies her nails and goes, "I'm trying to get over a 20-foot fall, so it would maybe behoove you to open the next door."
Wow, prissy! Wow, really prissy. Una looks at you and she's thinking, "Oh, do you know what? Do you know what, my dear? You might be stretching me here." And she then, upset mother type, walks over to the door and opens it into a region that is not unlike the one that you were just in.
Okay.
But no ravine, more of a similar sort of terrain in that there's the sort of, you're in the foothills of rocky sort of mountainous area, but there's no big ravine drops and it's a lot lower level. So
it's like alpine-y, but
no tree, no thick forest.
Okay.
A few trees and such like,
Yeah.
but really not big ones. We're talking like more large bushes
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sitting in a deck chair nearby is an old man, and he is an elf. It's not Wellborn, so it's not someone you
Okay.
recognise, but he is a very old man. He's sitting in this sort of deck chair. He has a little house behind him. You can see a vegetable garden, all that kind of stuff there. And there is a door, again, just hanging directly about 50 foot meters in front of you. Well, I say hanging, just sort of like in nothingness.
yeah. I turn to Una and I say, "What happens in this room?"
And she says to you, well, this one, he won't give you the key.
Let me guess. You killed him 1,000 times too.
Well, not 1,000 times. I have perchance killed him or the person that was here in his place.
So
He's a rather officious little gentleman, though. And you hear back from the back, huh, you talking about me? Not officious. My key. Why should I give it to you?
I like to wander up towards him and examine him and see what he looks like.
Without saying anything.
Yeah.
Personal space, my dear. Stay away. This is my property. You're on my land.
Okay. What does he look like? Is he human?
No, elf.
Elf?
Old elf. And even for an elf, this guy's old.
I am going to try speaking to him in Thieves' Cant.
Right. Okay. That's like super thievy lingo, like
Yeah.
British Cockney apples and pears, but more thievy, yeah?
Yeah, it takes 4 times longer to say anything in that than a normal language.
Really? You think that it would take 4 times less? Like,
Right. And I say to him, "Do you speak Thieves' Cant?" Do you speak Thieves' Cant? Can you understand me?
But you say that
Yeah,
in...
it probably sounds like, "Wait, we don't round the corner. We got one of them right down. Good job, mate. Yeah, Bonza."
He looks at you and he raises an eyebrow. He just says, and he turns to Una, he says, "What's wrong with her?"
And what does Una say?
She just shrugs her shoulders and she actually goes and sits by the other door.
So she can't hear me now if I talk quietly.
If you talk very quietly, no, I don't. Well, I don't think so. She just sits there and she's leaning against the door and she shouts over to you. She says, "I'm going to watch you work. See how you play with this one, because I know how I've done it in the past."
What did you do in the past, and what worked and what didn't work?
Well, I stabbed him in the face, took the key, and opened the door.
So that worked.
It did.
So I speak to him in Elvish very quietly, because I speak Elvish, and I say, "Hi, is there any way you could possibly..." Well, I suppose I'd say it in my accent, even in Elvish. "Hi, venerated old elf. I have found myself in a spot of trouble. I do have friends inside this tomb somewhere, but I seem to have picked up an enemy, and she keeps stabbing people in the face, which is not altogether polite. And,
Oh, she can try and stab me, never get me.
and apparently, on previous occasions, she has.
Previous occasions, what are you talking about?
And is there? Do you have a back door to your cabin?"
Don't even try and go in there. It's mine. Why would I let you into my home? Who are you, stepping out of some different place to here?
I'm Raven Silver Shield, and I do a little backflip on the spot and a little flourish.
He looks at you. Ah, impressive.
You may have heard of my family, although we
Nope.
all together. Oh, okay. Well, they're a wonderful family. We do have a reputation, some could say. As I say, I find myself traveling with a murderess. I would really rather not. So either potentially you could help me to escape from her, or you could give me the key and I could take both of us out of your way. But I would really rather that neither of us got stabbed in the face today.
Well, I think it's a little bit far off before I stab you in the face, but, you know. But anyway, I think you're asking... No, you're not having the key. It's my key. Not having it.
You look like you might be in pain, sir.
What makes you say that?
Well, I'm judging by your countenance and that you seem not altogether pleased to have company, and perhaps inside you have a rage or some kind of pain that I can help you with.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Can I use any of my, skill set, like persuasion or deception?
Yeah, well, sell it to me.
Okay, so, I'm gonna say, so my name is Raven. What's your name, kind sir?
I am Elmus.
Elmus, you remind me of my dear departed grandpa that my father used to battle with, so I very rarely got to see him. But his favorite thing was a shoulder rub and some humbugs to eat. I don't have any humbugs, but I could give you a shoulder rub, and perhaps you would feel better about life, and perhaps we could engage in a happier manner together. And I'm going to try and persuade him to look upon me as a grandchild and take pity on me.
Go on then, roll it, yeah.
Okay, let's see what I have for persuasion. I have 0 charisma. But I do have a lucky point left. Okay, that was a 5. So we'll try again. Okay, so 16 to persuade him.
He says, maybe a back rub could be, could work your way into my good books, perhaps, my dear.
Okay, so I do that thing, you know when they have a masseuse come around the office?
He starts unbuttoning his shirt and taking his shirt off.
So I use my my poor, gravel and cliff-beaten hands.
Right.
To give him one of those, you know when they have people who come around the office to give you a massage and they do karate chops on your shoulders?
No, but
obviously.
Yes.
And Raven tries to do an approximation of a massage. Luckily, she's quite dexterous.
Yep.
So she gets her fingers in some knots on his neck and his shoulders if he has any. And she quietly, in Elvish, tells him the story of what brought her to where she is. And she says, so the end of the story would go something like, and so I'm trying to prove myself away from my daddy so I don't have to do as much of the killing. And if I get a big prize, maybe he will love me truly as much as my brothers, and he won't make me kill people as much as he would like to. And he would be so proud of me. And unfortunately, I wound up with a murderous kind of crazy lady that sings to people. But that is my story, and I think the key would really help me out with whatever happens in my life next, whatever my fate will be.
And you finish the massage, and you walk around to see what do you...
Yeah, I help him put his shirt back on.
So you finish
shirt.
the massage, and he doesn't really move, and you can hear his deep breathing.
I'm going to use my sleight of hand to...
As if he's asleep.
I haven't killed him.
No, yeah, your massage wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Or good, I'm not entirely sure what...
So I feel like I can either wake him up and say, please can I have the key now, or massage you to sleep, or I can steal the key. And I feel like I'm going to wake him up.
Oh, really?
And say, you fell asleep. I wake him up with a song. Okay, and it's like an old wake up song, which obviously is cultural in my family. Oh, you fell asleep on the job. You better wake up so we can keep an eye out for when the mark is away, so we can steal from his house. Wake up.
And
Elmond,
he wakes up and he's looking at you, you know. Like,
Elmond, you fell asleep. I have to go now. I don't know how I can go, but could you maybe loan the key? Could you come and unlock the door for me?
Why?
Well, otherwise, I will... you just heard the story that I told you. That's kind of my life's ambition, and my friends are somewhere
Well,
in the
I heard some of it. I didn't really catch the end. You know how it is. I was dozed off, you know.
what if you promise to open the door for us, then I promise I will come back and I will tell you another story and give you another massage.
No.
Okay, well, maybe I should finish off the massage appropriately. Maybe you should lie down and I will finish off with your buttocks.
Wow, that's a sell, isn't it? He goes, maybe that might go some way. Okay. And he lies down on the floor.
So this time, while I massage him, I'm going to choose my sleight of hand to try and find a key on his personage.
Okay. Right. Okay. So he's lying down on a little bit of a wood. Trying to think, it's a wood veranda that he goes in, gets a blanket, lies it on the floor, and he lies down there. And
What's Una doing while all this is going on?
She's just sitting there, head in hand, watching you, just like tapping her face, just being like, and you get the feeling that Una is not the type of person that would have stripped this guy down to give him a massage.
I mean, I was thinking over the clothes, DM. You're the one who had the NPC take his clothes
yeah,
off.
no, definitely. But that's the kind of weird old man this guy is, you know.
I mean, it's not weird. He's just assumed that he's going to take clothes
I don't know.
off.
I don't think if I was sitting on my veranda and some random person walked out a door that I would be willing to let them take my clothes off and give me a massage.
If you say so, Tom.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
anyway. So he's lying on the floor and he's clearly got...
A boner?
No,
just kidding.
he's clearly got stuff in his pockets.
Okay.
They're like MC Hammer-y type trousers.
So, amazing.
like
I haven't seen those in years.
Pantaloons.
So,
Well, yeah, I said he's an old dude, you know.
Raven's going to do a massage on his lower back, and his sit bones, and she's going to notice if he's...
His what bones?
His sit bones.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
And she's going to notice if he falls asleep, and when he seems to be drowsing off, she's going to sneakily see if she can palm the key.
Right. I'm going to give you the massage technique just standard.
Yeah.
But your stealth, I am going to need to you to roll that.
Okay.
That stealth roll, please.
16 with a plus of 7 is 23.
So you, while you're still sort of kneeling down by his side, massaging his upper back, your hand fits into his pocket and forms around the shape of something that you believe to be a key.
Yeah.
You slowly and tentatively pull it out of his pocket.
With a well-practiced move.
With a well-practiced move.
Of a lifetime of thievery.
And you successfully take the key out of his pocket.
Yeehaw!
However,
Yeah.
it appears to be on a cord.
Of course it does. So I'm going to continue massaging. Mm-hmm. The key's now out of the pocket.
The key is out the pocket. So you're one-handedly massaging.
Yeah, but I'm going to let the key just lie on the blanket next to him. Then I'm going to go back to two-hand massage.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to start one elbow,
Yeah.
one hand, and I'm going to quietly pull out a dagger.
Yeah. At this point, if you were to be looking over at Una, she would be you're seeing you massaging this guy on the floor with a dagger sort of knelt over him. You could see her saying, "Ooh," and you can, if you were nearby, you'd say, "Oh, I didn't think she had it in her."
And I'm going to cut the cord. Tom, stop trying to make me kill people. And then I'm going to take the key. I'm going to check. Is he sleeping now?
He is pretty, yeah.
I'm going to tenderly...
He's in that sort of like very dozy state. So you wouldn't say that he was deep sleep,
Yeah.
but he's...
Okay, I'm going to tenderly, like, slow the massage down and quickly, but very stealthily, because I'm a rogue,
Yep.
run over to the door, unlock it, run back, and put the key in his pocket.
So
You didn't think I was going to do that, did you?
No, I didn't.
You thought I was going to run off and steal
So,
his key?
right, first off, I'm going to need a stealth.
Okay.
But just to describe, so you cut the ribbon where the key was on him.
Well, basically, when I got the key pulled out of his pocket and I laid it on the blanket that he was lying on, so it's there, attached to some cord.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's on a cord.
Yeah.
So is your intention to tie it up so that he won't notice it's gone, or is your intention just to leave the key there?
my intention is...
Because one is more difficult than the other.
I think what I'd do is I'd run and unlock the door.
Mm-hmm. Right, let's do that. Sort that first then.
Okay, it's 20s.
Natural?
Yeah.
Oh, no. It's natural 20, you can get there and back to the guy. So you've unlocked the door.
Yeah.
Una nods at you, and you hear
I
her
go
say,
like this at Una. I'm doing a V sign at her listeners.
and she said, you nod to Una. Una says, "Oh, I thought you might be going to kill him there." You know?
I go, shh.
And just so you know, I didn't kill him every time.
Shut up. And then I run back
Mm-hmm.
and I tie the key back on the cord
Okay.
and I put it back in his pocket.
With that 20, I will allow that. And you
Okay.
run back to Una.
And I'm going to very gently try and roll him in his blanket.
Roll him in the blanket.
No, just like cover him a little bit so he doesn't, it's not, if he wakes up in the middle of the night, it's not going to be cold. And then I'm going to run to the door. Don't laugh at me. He's an old man. You said he was a really, really old elf. What's the number one cause of an elderly person's dying? And it's outside in the mountains.
Sex or frightened? I'm not sure. Anyway, so you run back to the door, and so the key's obviously back on him, and you leave back to the antechamber.
Yes.
And Una goes with you, and you shut the door to this little area where you were,
Yeah.
and Una gives you a nod, and she says, "I'm impressed. I have not done it like that before. I've always either just stolen the key. So you surprise me. Perhaps there is something I can learn from you, my dear." And
Can I do an insight? Because I'm very cynical. Raven's thinking, 20.
no, she's like with the 20. She's been 100% genuine. She knows that she has not been able to get further into this, whatever it is, this labyrinth of mystical rooms.
She doesn't know why, okay.
She doesn't know why. It would appear from what she said that there are different ways to complete these rooms. So she has alluded to the fact that she has completed it by killing him, taking the key, by violently taking it from him, by stealing it from him, and she's managed to get out of the room. So this would fit in with the fact that they're being observed. But she clearly hasn't had it in her to this point to be able to persuade him. I mean, he's quite an angry, or not angry, but a man that's clearly not going to give it up willingly. So,
Yeah, I've met many of them, Tom.
but it's the it's the point at which and the direction which you take the key from him that appears to you anyway to maybe be of some import to this.
So we're now back in the antechamber, right?
You are back in the antechamber. Yes, that's
I say,
correct.
Una, I'm still tired from my fall in the ravine. You think you could heal me up from my hands really hurting now? You think you could give me a little boost, something magical, take away my aches and pains?
She cocks her head and she says, "Yes, I suppose so, my dear. If this working relationship is going to continue, why not?" And what, are you lying down, going to sleep, or are you just like
I'm
expecting?
just
looking...
like hands on hips, like, come on, hook
Okay.
me up.
She says, "You did well," and she hands you a small pill, which, from description from the other guys,
Yeah.
she opens up a bag
Oh my
and
gosh.
takes it from you.
Is this the pill that one of them put up their bum?
But yes, but not that specific pill. Yes.
Oh, okay.
She gives you that, and she says, "Take this, and perhaps not straight away, but within the next few hours, you will be feeling a lot stronger and a lot more of a lot more powerful than perhaps you were before."
Oh, I can't remember anything about this pill.
It's just a shame you're on your own and you don't have anyone to ask.
Can I roll a medicine check?
Yep.
13. Whoa.
13. You don't really know. Based off what the other guys have told you, though, it did have profoundly good effects. You were there when Farvin took his, I believe.
Oh, yes, I'm going to take the pill.
Yeah. You take it and you start to feel more wholesome. You start to feel, but no impact immediately. But
Okay.
And she says to you, "You help us continue and move through this maze faster. I can help you, and we can."
Oh, so you're a drug dealer now.
Well,
Okay.
you know, one of my lesser crimes, I suppose.
Let's go. I'm really itching to find my friends, and let's not small talk. Do you think we need to sleep or anything?
Roll me a... Well, I don't know, do you? Roll me a perception, though.
6 plus... Oh, 6 plus 4, 10.
10, okay. There's nothing out of the order in the open. You go to the next door, I assume, at some point, and you open it. And you just see in front of you just a normal corridor, and there is a door at the end of it. It just appears to be a normal corridor you would find in any sort of dwarven type underground
mine or something.
mine.
Okay, is there any light?
No.
Okay, I don't see anything then.
No.
So let me see what I have. I say, Una, can you see anything?
And she says, wait. She says, stop. She says, I've never been in this place before. And I've been coming here for many years. Years I have travelled through this realm, and I have never come to this room before.
Oh. Well, we're going to need some light because I can't see anything. What do you see?
Well, I think you had the unending brazier, didn't you? I assumed that's what you were holding. Do you remember we had that brazier, the magical brazier that could never be put out?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I thought you had that. So I assumed that that's what you could see, and you could see the door further in front of you.
Okay, that's wonderful because I completely forgot about that.
Yep.
So in that case, I'm going to tentatively move into the room. And I'm going to listen. Do I hear any sounds of mining, or is it deathly quiet?
No, it is deathly quiet. Deathly quiet.
And
as you step into the room, and Una steps in after you, Una closes the door, and suddenly it's like, how to describe it? It's like the room flickers, and suddenly you're not in where you were before. You're in like a field, and there are hay bales all around you.
Okay.
And Una says, "Oh, this is an easy one. I don't even need to kill anyone for this." And she points to the hay bales, and there's people working there. And she's like, "One of these idiots has hidden the key in one of the hay bales. We've just got to find it. It was in that one last time." And she runs over to the hay bale, and she starts sifting through it, knocking it out the way. There's a guy that was pushing all the hay from the field onto it. She pushes him out the way. She goes through it, and you see her rattling around in there. She says, no, not in this one. And you see her run over to a different one and push it in. And you see her start moving from bale to bale. And if you're going to let her do it, then you let her do it. And she continues on. And for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a bit more, she says, "Oh, well, you can help me."
Can I say, "I'll be right back," and I go out of the door, close it, and then I'm going to count to 10 and open the door again.
You go to open the door, but actually, Una opens the door, and she says, "It took me ages, but I've got it."
Okay.
And she's standing there with a key.
I say, "Come out here with that key now."
What, into the antechamber?
Yeah.
She
I
says,
say, "Come out here now.
we can just go to the...
I don't think we should. Come out here, and then we can proceed."
Okay, so she goes
and
back into the antechamber.
And does she still have a key in her hand?
Yes.
I say, "Did you think that you did that room the correct way? You did it exactly the same as you did it another time?"
Yeah.
"Well, I think we need to reset that room and try it again. Go put the key back."
So she goes, "Perhaps, I suppose that's why I have got you around." And she goes back into the room.
Yeah.
And you just see her lob the key into the middle of the field.
I say, "Well, that's not really putting it back, but that would be splitting hairs. Come, okay. We're going to spend one night here, and then we're going to go back in the room to let it reset."
Okay. Roll me another perception.
16 with a plus of 4, 20.
Okay. So Una comes back in. She goes, "This isn't how we you don't reset the room like this. You need to go back out into the real world to reset the rooms."
Oh.
She says, "And you can't just..." She says, "I've done it before. You can't just you can't just pick it. So we can either continue on and finish this room and then go on to the next one, or we can go back outside to that little campfire area that I had in the outside area back in the mountains.
Yeah.
And then that'll reset and pull the next room. That's my experience of this anyway.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay. That perception check, as you do that, you just get a weird shiver that almost runs through your entire body. And you don't know what it was. And you see Una, her eyes like open up, like you, like, so she's clearly a magical user.
Yeah.
And her eyes open up. She goes to you, and you're standing there in the empty room. She goes, something has changed. Something's different. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what has gone on, but something just changed. I don't know whether it's gone back to how it was now or before, but something has changed. And you see her open the door, and once again, there is the fields and the hay bales and everything like that. But time has passed, and there's no one in there. It's the same time of day as when you left it, but there are...
All the humans have gone?
There's no people in it. And the hay bales look unattended. They look like they've been there for years. They've like turned to almost like mulch.
Uh-oh. I go, Garrus!
And with that, we will end the episode there. Thanks for listening.
Bye!
The Formal Gamer, podcasts for those with exquisite taste.